Hey, what's up? I'm Ga. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. So it's Tuesday. We got an update. Let's jump into it. I'm not going to go and read everything. I'm going to kind of try to break it down, give you my thoughts on it, because you guys can go and just check most of this out in-game. Alright, so first thing I want to mention is that, Idle Micheal's here. We got her power-up program. If you're building her, this is great for you. And also, we have her event, and the Christmas event is still going. So what that means is you just get a ton of free stamina every day. So you get a bunch of stamina, 300 from Christmas event, you get all this stamina from the Micheal event, and that's going to make doing whatever grinding you're doing a whole heck of a lot easier. So that is much appreciated. The other big thing we got is this campaign here. So before I get into the rewards, first thing I want to let you guys know is wait for the day to come before you do anything relating to that day, because these rewards don't unlock, or progress towards the rewards doesn't unlock until you claim this login bonus, or at least until that day is available. So like for this day 3 stuff, you need that third day sign-in required in order to start working towards the goal, right? So like if you go and spend like 1,000 diamonds right now, you're still gonna have to spend an extra 100 by the time this day rolls around. Same thing, you know, with the summoning and with doing Limbus Arena and all that stuff. So just be patient, just wait for the days before you really go all in on the stuff here. So as far as the rewards, we get a free copy of OG Micheal, which is very nice. We get some tickets, very nice. And for the first day, we actually got a free copy of OG Nikita. So I have a theory about this. I don't think this is user joy being generous. I think they just forgot to give us Nikita's banner. And they're like, oops, here you guys go. Here's Nikita. We forgot to put her in the game, but now she's here. The reason I think that is because if you go into consonants and go look at Chino got her consonants a while back, you know, just based on the characters that she has for her consonants. I'd say she probably got it somewhere around the, what is this, the Festival Beelzebub? Or the New Year's Astaroth. Like, it's been at least a couple of months since she's had her consonants. And look who is in there. OG Nikita. And we never had her until today. And she's just been missing from the game, but she's been like a required part of a character's consonants. And I think user joy is just like, whoops, we dropped the ball on that one. Here you guys go, free Nikita, our bad. Like, you can at least get Nikita, you know, the points you need to max her out for Chino's consonants. You know, just give her a couple of Waker books and yada yada yada. But this kind of sucks for people that wanted to use Nikita, like me on my Awaker only alt, because Nikita actually has some nice things in her kit. Here she is. So she's got like defense down on her skill 1 Agony, which is very nice. Good for guild raids. She's got move gauge reduction on her skill 2, also very nice. But as of right now, there's no way to get like true copies of her, or even like her soul mirrors or anything like that. So it's a little bit of a bummer, but you know, everybody has her for collection now, which is cool. And then as far as other events go, you know, we've got the event here. I want to say something about stage 6. This is the only place you can get soul mirrored dust, the purple dust for soul mirrors. They took it out of the event shop. They've been putting it in these stages here, which is, it's whatever. I'm not a huge fan of it because all this stuff is random drop. But if you needed to farm the purple dust, that's the stage to go to. Bonus casts, we have quite a few this time around. Very nice variety. Appreciate that for sure. And then let's go check out the shop, because the shop is actually quite a banger. The only thing I don't like is that they merged the two shops again. They merged the event shop and they merged the banner shop into one. It means you have to scroll a lot. Gotta do a lot of scrolling. It's very annoying. Like, I praised them for having these two separate so I could, know what resource I have and where to go with it and not scroll so much. And then for this one, they're just like, well, smash them back together. And if I wanted something at the very end here, I gotta scroll all the way back and forth. It'd be nice if they could, I don't want to say shorten the shops, because then they'll probably just take all the good stuff out. But have things more separated and organized. But yeah, so we get a free copy of Idle Micheal in the shop. So that's going to take quite a bit of grinding, but is not impossible. Day one, I already have 20,000 or 21,000 event points or event currency. So I think I'm going to be working on that. We also have her first set of soul mirrors in here, as well as some soul mirrors for other characters. You can pick up, where is it? Oh, it's this one, yeah. So you can pick up any of these characters, true copies of them. Very nice. Very expensive as far as event currency goes. You'll probably only be able to get one thing if you're going for Idle Micheal out of here. That's probably all you're going to get out of the shop. So budget your stamina appropriately, especially because one of the things in the event here is to clear Star Shard stages. And if you're just doing this for the tickets, the most stamina efficient way to do this is going to be to farm the low stamina stages, obviously, right? And the fastest way to do that, just go all the way down to the first stage and do that 50 times. It'll be super fast, super easy, and you can go ahead and claim your tickets here. But, if you were also putting off Star Shard farming, this is a good time to do that because you will get rewarded for it. Alright, and last but not least, let's jump into the banner. Alright, as you guys probably could tell, there is Micheal and Idle Micheal on the banner. And OG Micheal, very strong character. She has been since her release. She does a lot. She's got a bunch of utility. She's got stun on opening. She's got all damage reduction. She protects herself. She's got DOTs. She counters OG Lucifer. She's got move gauge buffing a little bit kind of sprinkled into her kit. But Idle Micheal is a tech or a green who tries to focus more on the support side. She's only slightly faster than her OG version, but she's gonna end up being slower than her OG simply because her OG has consonants, and in that you can get a big speed boost. So what does she do that really sets her apart from everyone else? Well, she gets compared to Furka a lot. She's also comparable to Speed Raph. She is primarily a move gauge buffing character. So pretty much all of her moves buff her own move gauge and her own speed and things like that. And then she has a passive that buffs the team's move gauge. Only if she's healthy, though. She also gets some damage reduction. All of her stuff happens after she takes her action. And just kind of browsing her kit, you can tell that she is made for PvP, and not really so much guild raid or anything like that. She doesn't have any defense shred, she doesn't have any damage boosts. You know, she's got things like revive, she's got healing, she's got move gauge buffing. That is all the telltale signs of a PvP character. But we're gonna have to analyze her a little bit, because I think she's gonna have a rough time in PvP. Like, her kit looks absolutely stacked on paper. Like, if you go and you read through all this stuff, it sounds amazing, and it is, don't get me wrong. But when you take her into the current PvP environment, you're gonna find she's going to struggle a little bit. So there's a couple of major glaring flaws in her kit. The first one being that she's green, and she's a support. Well, there are a lot of big, powerful, potent red threats in PvP. I'm talking about Belial, OG Lucifer, Pangea, Chaco Asta. She is going to be at a type disadvantage, so she's going to be hit weakness-wise there, and she's not exactly the fastest. Like, even just Belial can outspeed her, and that kind of leads us into another issue with her kit. Since she's not crazy fast, she runs into the issue of not bringing any sort of immediate value to your team. So all of her things, like I mentioned earlier, happen after she acts. However, she needs to move, right? But she's not incredibly tanky. She's not incredibly fast. So chances are she's just going to get hit by a big red, drop her below this HP threshold. And by the way, this is conditional to increasing your team's move gauge. So if she gets knocked under this, you just lost your move gauge buffer, right? So like OG Lucy comes in and knocks her down to like 20% of her HP and gets like a really big hit off of her. And then her turn goes and like she'll heal, yeah, but then she won't buff anybody's move gauge. So like that's one issue. And another big issue is that she doesn't have any relevant immunities or any relevant like tankiness, right? So like this right here, if there's at least 3 enemies left on the field after the action, grants the caster all damage reduction. This only works like early game as far as like a PvP match is concerned, which is fine. It's fine. All damage reduction is good. If Micheal can get her first move, then she's golden. Like, she'll just carry herself because her S1, 2, and 3 buff her own move gauge, which is really good. But taunt is not the most relevant affliction to be immune to. Like, if you go into PvP, there's lots of confuse from Pangea. There's lots of freeze from like Levy and Belial, and especially Belial is going to really hurt this character since she is a tech unit. Belial's S2 freezes tech units. Leviathan also has freeze, and with her super evolution, she's going to be freezing up to 3 characters, I think, which is bad. It's bad news for Micheal. And also, OG Micheal is still on the playing field, right? She's still on the table with her opening stun. Hero Gab seems to have fallen off a little bit, but she's still there. She's a very strong red character. who is going to be potentially dazing Micheal. And if Micheal has to spend a turn recovering from a status, then she doesn't get to go. And if she needs to go to do stuff, she doesn't have any sort of like inherent tanking ability like some of these other characters that can like take a hit and shrug it off and keep going. You know, you look at some other supports like Sariel and Leviathan. They have type advantage against, you know, the big red DPS, so they can take a hit, they can take a turn to recover from, you know, status, and still keep doing their thing. And they also bring immediate value to the table with their passives, where Idle Micheal has none of that. All of it is tied into her actions. She has no immediate value from putting her on a team, and that just kind of makes things a little rough, you know, like that whole combination of her being a tech support and not necessarily a tech DPS. Like if you go look at Gunslinger Lucy, who is essentially the premier support killer in the game, because, you know, she's a green DPS. She's going to be able to one-shot like all the Leviathans, Sariels, Christmas Satans, and just take them out in at least one or two actions. Micheal, on the other hand, you're probably going to want to build tanky so she can actually hopefully survive something, and be able to get her turn. And she has no inherent speed boost like Gunslinger Lucy, like General Sandy, Sandalphon. So she has no way to get herself started. Like, she just has to wait for her turn, which is definitely a big downside. And like the other thing too is that she doesn't really slot in to a lot of PV or a lot of meta PvP teams because of her downsides, right? So like if you are a meta player, like we can go take a look at my team right here. I'll back out. So like my main PvP team, we can just go into Arena and look into it. Right here, down on the, well, I guess I'll have to move out of the way so you guys can actually see it. Right, alright. So bottom left down here, like there's no one character that I would want to remove for someone like Idle Micheal. So Sariel and Leviathan are both self-sufficient. They both bring immediate value to my team. Bride Levy helps me counter other people using Panagia. Panagia is also self-sufficient, brings immediate value to the team. Belial is arguably the best DPS or best self-sustaining, all-rounder, tank kind of character that you can just kind of toss into any team and call it good. Like, you would need to build almost a team around Micheal. Like, oop, not unsummon. Let's go into formation real quick. And alright, so Micheal has a lot of weaknesses, right? You can't just sprinkle her in a team and hope for the best. You would have to build someone or like a team around her, and I feel like building a team around a support is a little sus sometimes, because your support is supposed to be supporting your team, not necessarily like the other way around. So it's a little bit of like a backwards mentality, which is why I think that Idle Micheal is more fit for rogue or anti-meta strategies. Like, you can run her with Mammon for some extra speed, some extra tankiness to make sure that she like actually gets to go. You can run her with you know, someone like General Sandalphon to reduce the incoming damage that she's going to take. You can run her with Choco Astaroth to kind of get around Christmas Satan's move gauge nuking, because that is another big problem for Idle Micheal, even though she's going to resist the hit, she's going to lose her whole move gauge, which delays her turn even further. Any sort of action or status or effect that can delay Idle Micheal is going to basically kill her. But you can also pair her up with people that are confuse disablers, I guess. Bring that confuse immunity for Idle Micheal to play around the Panagea. Like, hypothetically, you could even build like a max attack Micheal and pair her up with OG Metatron and hope to get that crowd control protection. But you really just need the team to fit Micheal. Like, Micheal doesn't really fit a team. You have to kind of build it backwards. Which is why, at the moment, I don't think that she is a top-tier character. She's a top-tier waifu, 100%. I love her. I love this outfit. She's simply gorgeous, and I'm going to pull her and try to build her if I can. But if you were to ask me, she probably brings about the same amount of value that a Furka or a Speed Raff would bring to your team. Maybe slightly weaker, depending on if you're able to take advantage of all of her strengths and circumvent her weaknesses. But let me know what you guys have planned for Micheal. What are you going to do with her? Do you want to pull her? Do you want to get her? Do you want to build her? I'm very curious as to your guys' opinions about this character. I think she's absolutely cracked on paper, but trying to figure out how she's going to work optimally might be a little difficult given the current state of the PvP environment. But let me know, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.